Hello everyone, welcome to the 18th part of microcontroller architecture and programming, that is timer mode when programming. In 5th video, we have seen the timer registers, that is 8051 has a 2 timers, 16-bit timers, timer 0 and timer 1, and again along with this timer we are using the registers tmod register to configure the timer and tcon register which used to control the operation of the timers. So this 16-bit timer, they are actually consist of a 2 8-bit registers. For example, here timer 0 is consist of 2 8-bit registers TL0 and TH0. If we are using this timer in 8-bit mode, that is if we are using only 8 bits of this timer, then the maximum count is 2 raised to 8, that is 256. That means it counts from 0 to 255. If we represent this value, that is 255, that is the maximum count, in binary, we get here 8 times 1. And that is represented in hex as a FFH. That is 255 in decimal. So this is the maximum count when we are using this timer as a 8-bit timer. And if we are using this timer as a 16-bit timer, so it gives the maximum count, that is 2 raised to 16 equal to 65,536. That means it counts from 0 to 65,535. So 65,535 is nothing but the maximum count of the 16-bit timer. So that is represented in binary as a 16 times 1, and that is represented in hex as a FFH. That is 65,535. So this is the timer 1. Again, this is consist of a 2 8-bit register TL1 and TH1, and that can be used as a 8-bit timer or as a 16-bit timer. So here is the tmod register. We have studied this register in 5th video. So this register is used to select the mode or to configure the timer 0 and the timer 1. So lower 4 bits of this timer, they are used to configure timer 0, and upper 4 bits of this timer, they are used to configure timer 1. So here the lower 4 bits of this timer, they are used to configure timer 0, and upper 4 bits, they are used to configure timer 1. So these bits 5 and 4 or bits 1 and 0, they are used to select or set the timer mode for both timer 1 and timer 0 registers. So here are the modes when these bits M1 and M0 for timer 1 and timer 0. If they are 00, mode 0 is selected, that is a 13-bit mode timer. If they are 01, then mode 1 is selected, that means 16-bit timer mode is selected. If these bits are 1 and 0, mode 2 is selected. So this is 8-bit auto reload mode, and if both these bits are equal to 1 then mode 3 is selected, that is a split timer mode. So in this video we are going to set or select the timer in a mode 1. So here is the diagram, or here we can select the timer in a mode 1. So here is the crystal frequency or a timer clock or a machine cycle is given to the timer using this switch. To make this timer on, so here is the 16-bit timer we are using. That means it is a combination of THX and TLX registers, and here is the TFX, that is overflow flag, that is denote the overflow or rollover of the timer. So to start this timer, here we are making this gate bit equal to 0 and TRX bit equal to 1. So switch will close and clock is applied to the timer, and timer will start counting from 0, 1 up to FFFH. So when this timer rolls over from FFFH to 00, so this TFX flag will set. So this will indicate the overflow of a timer. So after overflow, we have to stop the timer. So make TRX bit equal to 0. So this will open the switch and timer will be stopped, and TFX flag becomes 0. So to use this timer 0 or 1 in mode 1. For timer 0 in mode 1, to select that timer 0 in mode 1, here is the bit that we are given to this timer T-mode register. So for timer 0 in mode 1, the value that should be loaded in T-mode is 0, 1H. That means for timer 0, here the lower 4 bits are used and upper 4 bits they are 0, 0. So we are making these bits M1 and M0 equal to 0, 1 to select the mode 1. And gate bit should be 0, and this C/T bar is nothing but we are selecting this timer as a timer. So we are moving the value that is 0, 0, 0, that is represented in its hex as a 0, and this 0, 0, 0, 1 that is represented as 1. That means we are loading the value 0, 1H in T mode for timer 0 in mode 1. For timer 1 in mode 1, we have to use upper 4 bits of this T-mode register. So here we are making these bits M1 and M0 for timer 1 equal to 0, 1 to select this timer into mode 1. So here the lower 4 bits of this timer 0, they are 0, 0. As we are using the timer 1, we are just configuring the upper 4 bits. So we have to move the value in T-mode, that is 10H. So this 0, 0, 0, 1 is 1, and this lower 4 bits they represent 0. So that is 10H. So here are the steps for timer mode 1 programming. First, load the T-mode with value 0, 1H or 10H for timer 0 or a timer 1 respectively. Load registers TLX and THX with initial count value. In next slide, we will see how we can calculate this initial count value to load into this TLX and THX registers. Now the third step is start the timer by making TRX bit equal to 1. After starting the timer, it will start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, and we have to keep monitor this timer flag, that is TFX. As it is 0, when the timer rolls over from FFH to 0, 0, 0H, it becomes high. So we have to keep monitoring this flag. So after overflow, when this flag will set or when this flag becomes high, we have to stop the timer by making this TRX bit equal to 0. Then for the next round, we have to clear this flag TFX, and if we want to continue this, then go to step 2 to load the THX and TLX again with the initial count. So how to find initial count? Suppose there is a maximum count that is equal to 10 and number of required count is 6. That is maximum if there are 10 things and we have to just count the 6 things. So the initial count value, if we want to count the only last 6 values or last 6 things, so what should be the initial count to count the last 6 things only from 10? So we can calculate this initial count value by subtracting this required count from maximum count. So we will get the maximum count is 10 minus required count 6, that is 4. That means to count the last 6 things, we have to start from the 4th thing. Okay, so this is the initial count. So similarly here, to find the initial count for this timer, our first step is we have to find the timer clock frequency. So timer clock is nothing but crystal by 12, crystal frequency by 12, and we have to find the period of a one machine cycle. So that can be calculated using the formula that is 12 divided by the crystal frequency as T equal to 1 upon F, or we can say that period of time, that is period of one machine cycle, that is T, that is 1 upon F. So here we are dividing this crystal frequency or this 12 clocks by the crystal frequency. So the next step is number of count. How we can find the number of count? So that can be found using the formula required delay divided by period of one machine cycle. Okay. Now the fourth step, to find the initial count value of a timer, that is 65,536, that is the maximum counter, as we are using this timer in a mode 1, that is 16-bit mode. So the maximum count is 65,536 minus the number of required count. Here is the example. Now suppose there is a delay of 1 milliseconds, and to generate the delay of 1 millisecond and crystal frequency is given 12 megahertz. So we have to find the initial count to load into the timer 1 to generate delay of a 1 millisecond. So our first step is to find the period of one machine cycle, and that is find by using the 12 divided by crystal frequency. So here crystal frequency is 12 megahertz. So 12 divided by 12 megahertz, that is 12 divided by 12 into 10 raised to 6. So we get here 1 into 10 raised to minus 6, that is 1 microsecond. So we get the period of a one machine cycle for 12 megahertz crystal 1 microseconds. Now the second step is number of count. That can be found by the formula required delay divided by period of one machine cycle. So our required delay is of 1 millisecond divided by the period of one machine cycle, that is 1 microsecond. So we get here 1 milliseconds divided by 1 microsecond, that is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 1 into 10 raised to minus 6. So we get here the count 1000. Now to find the initial count value of a timer, so we have to subtract this count, required count, into the maximum count. So here 65,536 minus number of required count. So we are subtracting this required count, that is 1000, from this maximum count, and we get the value 64,536. After converting it into hex, we get the value FC1 at H. As this is a 16-bit value, and we have to load this 16-bit value into 8-bit registers, that is THX and TLX. So here the lower 8-bit of this value, that is 18H, they are loaded into TLX register, and upper 8-bit of this 16-bit value, that is FCH, that is loaded into THX register. Now the another example, if we want to generate a square wave of a 500 hertz and crystal frequency is given 12 megahertz. Now again we have to find the initial count to generate this 500 hertz square wave. So first we have to again find the period of one machine cycle by using the formula 12 divided by crystal frequency. So we get the value 1 microsecond. Now here we have to find the delay, or we have to generate the delay for a square wave. So we have to convert this frequency into time. Here we are using T equal to 1 upon F, that is 1 upon frequency. So to get the time period of this square wave, so 1 upon 500 hertz, we get 2 milliseconds. So here is the square wave of a 2 milliseconds. We have to generate the square wave of a time period of a 2 millisecond. So this is the total time period of this square wave. But when we are generating square wave in 8051, so we are generally making the bit equal to 1 for some delay, and for this similar delay we are making the bit 0. That means we have to use only half time period of this, that means for T on or T off only. We have to use the delay for T on or T off only. So we have to half this total time period. So the next step is required delay equal to T by 2, that is 2 milliseconds divided by 2, that is 1 milliseconds. So this is nothing but the required delay to generate the square wave of a 500 hertz. Now the next step is number of count. So required delay divided by the period of one machine cycle, we get the count 1000, and to find the initial count value of a timer, we have to subtract this count from maximum count. So we get the same value, that is FC 1 at H, and we are moving the values FCH into THX and lower 8-bit 18H into TLX. Now the assembly language program for a square wave of a 500 Hz at pin P1.7, we are using timer 1 in mode 1 with a crystal frequency 12 MHz. So this is the initial location, RAM location, where our program will save. So here, using the instruction move tmod #10h, we are configuring the timer 1 in mode 1, or we are selecting the timer 1 in mode 1. Now the next instruction is CPL P1.7. Now here we are toggling the pin P1.7 and we are calling the delay. So in delay function, now the initial count which we have find in previous slide, that we will move into this THX and THL registers. So the upper 16 bits of this initial value, that is upper 8 bits of this initial value FCH, they are moving into TH1, and lower 8 bits, that is 18H, they are moving into TL1 register. Then we are start the timer by using the instruction set bit TR1. That means we are making this TR1 bit equal to 1. So this will start the timer. After that, what we have to do, we have to monitor that TF1 flag that is used for the timer 1. So this is overflow flag. Initially this flag is 0, and when timer rolls over from its maximum count, that is FFH to 000H, at that time this TF1 flag will raise or set. So till now we have to monitor this flag using the instruction JNB TF1 again. JNB means what? Jump if not bit. If this given bit, that is TF1, is 0, that is not bit means if 0, it is 0, then go to this label or jump to this label again. And we have giving this label to the same instruction. That means if this TF1 flag is 0, you have to keep monitoring it, okay, or wait for the overflow. And when this TF1 flag becomes 1, that means this condition will unsatisfied. It will come out from the loop, and we are using the instruction CLR TR1. That means we are stopping the timer by making this TR1 bit equal to 0. Next, for next round, we are again clearing the flag TF1. That means we are making this TF1 flag equal to 0. And the instruction RET, this is nothing but the return from subroutine. So it will go the next instruction of this called delay instruction, that is sjump back. So here again sjump back will go to the label back, where it will again complement the P1.7. Again delay function will be called, and after delay it will again go to this label and again it will complement. That means it will toggle the P1.7 pin continuously with the delay. So it will generate the square wave of a 500 Hz at P1.7. So here is this C program for the same question. That means we have to again generate the square wave of 500 Hz at P1.7, and timer 1 is used in mode 1 with a crystal frequency 12 MHz. So this is the initial or starting instruction of program, C program, that is include reg5in.h. So this is including the header file required for this 805in. So here we are declaring the delay function. Now we are using the single pin of this port 1. So we are defining it with the variable name myBit using the data type sBit. Now the main program, where we are initializing the timer, or we are configuring the timer by moving the value tmod equal to 0x10. So we are loading the value 10h into tmod. Then what? We have to continuously generate the square wave. That means we are complementing the bit P1.7, that is nothing but the my bit. So here we are loading the value, complement value of this my bit into my bit variable, and after that we are calling the delay function. So after complementing this p1.7 pin or a mybit, delay will be called, and here is the delay function. So here we are moving the upper 8 bits of the initial count, that is FCH into TH1, and lower 8 bit, that is 18H into TL1. By making bit TR1 equal to 1, we are start the timer, and here using the instruction while TF1 equal to 0, we are monitoring the timer flag. So as this TF1 is equal to 0, it will remains over there. So after, when this condition will false, it will come out the loop, and by making the TR1 equal to 0, we are stopping the timer. Then clear the TF1 flag for the next round, and it will again jump into this while loop, and it will continuously toggle the bit and generating the square wave. So in this way we can generate the square wave of a 500 Hz at pin p1.7. Thank you.